Welcome to Lee Street Beat. I'm Sandra with T the Man, and today we're missing S Hacker. She's got a family emergency, so we just keep her lifted up in our prayers. How you doing today, T?
I'm doing good, Sam. Doing real good.
Awesome.
All things considering.
Yes. Well, here we are, another week of Lee Street Beat, another week of the Trump presidency, which is just off to a total embarrassment. Tapes are coming out, clearly showing us that the president knew of the negotiations that were being done on his behalf with paying off the Playboy Playmate. And also there's information coming out that Michael Cohen is asserting that Donald Trump knew prior to the meeting with Donald Jr. With the Russians that it was going to occur. So my question to you, T, was there any doubt in your mind that Donald Trump knew about any of these incidents?
There was never any doubt in my mind that Donald Trump knew. He knew before he got on Air Force One and tried to write that made-up letter. Don Jr. is like his father. He's just more sophisticated than his father. They're a family of liars. They're a family of thieves. They're a family of cheats. Him, Ivanka, the other special child, Eric, and Little Baron too. So nobody's shocked and surprised by this. And the news media is going over there and he denied it. Donald Trump has lied. How many times this year? 3,000 lies? I mean,
I think he's at 3,600, but they haven't counted July.
Tallied up for July. He lies about everything. He lies about when the truth will do, and he definitely a lie about this because it's another cover up. He lied. He lied to protect his son. His son lied. What he said, it's a nothing burger. Who goes to anywhere to get a nothing burger? He's meeting with Russians. This Russian had dirt on Hillary Clinton. They were behind in the polls. They wanted anything. Donald Trump is not a man of morals and has scruples. He will win at any cost, and he don't care if he has to cheat, lie, and steal to do it. So that's what he did. He does what comes naturally to him. It's just like maggots eat shit. That's the way he is. This is the way he goes. Him and his sons and his daughters, they do it. So Michael Cohen, his thing is he wants to talk to Bob Mueller. Bob Mueller already knows that. He's going to have him as a collaborating witness anyway. Not only does Bob Mueller know that, Manafort knows that, Gates knows that. All the other people that he interviewed know that. So who's surprised by this? And then you got Rudy ED, and ED doesn't stand for Doctor of Education. It has another medical connotation for it. And he sits there and he lies. It's just like, it's like looking at a play coming out of Washington, D.C. that won't end. We need this play to close the curtains and for them to get off the stage. And it's just heartbreaking because the 3.5 billion people in the world, they seen had an epitome of what a president is. When they saw Barack and Michelle, kids aspire to be like them. I don't hear nobody except the little racist kids talking about, I want to be like Donald Trump. I want to be a liar. I want to be a thief. I want to be ignorant to everything. I just want to make up shit as shit goes along. Just create something that's not there.
Well, I'm going to tell you another thing, too, T, that really, really struck me. Michael Avenatti has come out and said that he's got 3 more ladies to bring out and talk about, situations about being paid through Michael Cohen, Donald Trump, and the fact that they've got Donald Trump's accountant now going to speak in New York.
Grand jury.
Huh?
Yeah, whatever, the Southern District of the Grand Jury.
The Southern District.
Yeah.
It's a problem. I'm gonna tell you something. This gentleman knows more than Michael Cohen, and with him, there's no client privilege.
No lawyer client privilege.
None at all. And I'm gonna tell you something. And he's gonna be able to explain not only these 3 women that Michael Avenatti know, but he walked back with Donald Trump's dad. He can tell you everything Oh my goodness, Donald
Well,
Trump.
this is what, if he hasn't spoken to the grand jury, my thing, he's going to assert the fifth. He's going to say, I take the fifth. He's not going to sit there and roll. He's going to take the fifth. He's 72 years old. He needs a job. He needs something to do. He want to show his loyalty to the other 72-year-old, one wearing the pins. You know, that's how they roll, you know. So if he does talk, which I'll be surprised, is because he's an unhappy employee. I mean, the two people that you always hear that you should always pay up is your doctor and your lawyer, because you never know when you're going to need them, and you always want to be on good terms. Mm-hmm. I don't know about the accountant falls in that professional people that you need to pay, but I know the doctor and the lawyer. He's not paying Cohen's legal bills. If he would have paid the legal bills, how much is this costing him? Because it'd have been a whole lot cheaper to give Cohen some money and go away. And it wasn't like it was coming out of his pocket. He was getting the RNC to do it. So why did he care? I mean, it's asinine the way they do things. But then again, they don't plan. They just sit there and just make up stuff, and it sounds good, and everybody pats them on the back, and they go with it. You know, they follow the leader of fools. That's it. You know.
Well, Donald Trump is a little cheap. You know, if he can, I mean, you know, think about it. Paul Manafort said, "I'll work for you for free." I mean, if not for nothing, that's how he got the job, because he said he would do it free. So, you know, Donald Trump, the reason why Donald Trump has a lawyer like Michael Cohen is because he never was a person to try to pay for somebody of quality. You know, I mean, he just has never been that person. And they say that this other accountant, you know, he's supposed to be an upstanding kind of guy, but I'm gonna tell you something. He knows a lot, and I'm not quite sure of all the things that he's done for the Trump administration has been, you know, on the up and up. There's a lot of a liability that a 70-something-year-old man is going to have to answer for. I don't know where this all will go. He can certainly plead the fifth, but at the end of the day, I think he's going to have to talk.
Yeah, well, let's hope he does talk, and let's bring it out. We already know that they got the tax returns or tax returns of his corporation. So he's not going to be as rich as he say he is. He's going to owe a lot of debt. He's got money from banks that were banned, that they had an embargo on. They
have sanctions on those banks. Yeah.
You know, because they're going to be Russian banks. It's not going to be Bank of America. It's not going to be Chase Bank. You know, it's not going to be Fifth Third.
No. Not gonna be Wells Fargo. He don't burn all them bridges. The bridges been burned.
No, really legitimate bank. You know,
he burned them down in the old days.
Moscow, you know, so yeah, he's gonna have it. I mean, Deutsche Bank out of Germany, who's working with the Russians and getting Trump the money through the back door. You know what? It's all gonna come out in the wash. And I just hope when it comes out in the wash that he goes down the drain. That's what I
want America to understand and believe. I want them to understand that, you know what, this is about fighting for our democracy. I mean, that this is not a Republican thing, that this is not a Democratic thing. This is an American thing. This man is systematically taking everything that we have, you know, stood on and built and just tearing them down, and has no plan to make it better. Just tear it down just because he doesn't like it. And he is really not working on behalf of the American people. He's working on the behalf of the Trump Foundation, the Trump organization. He's just working on his behalf. He's really not speaking for us as his people.
Well, you know what? This is the same thing that happened in the late 30s and the 40s with the Nazis. It's the same thing. He's blaming the Mexicans for the downfall of America. He blaming minorities for the downfall of America. These people out there in rural America, they only listen to one station. They listen to Fox. And so Fox sits there, the propaganda network goes there and says everything is great, the economy is good. I mean, I would say to those people, you're living in the cornfield, you're standing there with a tin shack, you know, and then you see that these other people have gotten this, you know, like so-called megastars. And then you wonder why you don't have that, because you in Iowa, you in the cornfield, you listen to Fox News. You got to get yourself educated. You know what? It ain't like a plane going to fall over like with D.B. Cooper and drop $1 million on your shack. That's not how it works. You're not going to get, you can play that lottery every day and not win. Hey, I played it. I didn't win no 538 million. If I did, this podcast would be going live from London.
I know that's right. And hey, there are a lot of things that will be changed up if that happened. We were talking about the liability that the Trump administration is really got to answer for right now. Right now, there are so many fronts that Donald Trump is fighting. You got Michael Cohen, you got Michael Avenatti, you have Paul Manafort, who's going to be going on trial next week. You have over 100 tapes. I mean, we are going to be inundated with, I've never wanted to know all of these sort of details that we're going to be finding out about Donald Trump. But I'm telling you something, over 100 tapes. And Rudy Giuliani's out here trying to get us to hear the word don't pay cash. I mean, everybody's listened to it and nobody can hear what he's hearing, and he can try to spin it all he wants to. But he got about 100 damn tapes to spin.
Listen, you know what? Let's not even get bogged down in the craziness and the stupidity. He's saying, who you gonna believe? My lying lies or the truth that you know with your ears?
Donald Trump is saying, don't believe what you hear. He's brainwashing these people. Say you're gonna hear a lot of stuff, you're gonna see a lot of stuff, but don't believe it.
You know what? Yeah, of course not. Don't believe what you hear. This is coming from a liar. You should believe the liar? Really? I mean, come on. He lied about everything. Just the fact that, you would give you pause. I mean, Michael Cohen was smart enough to know that Donald Trump lied. That's why he taped him. Because he knew he was going to lie.
You know, if there was ever any cause
he worked for Donald Trump and he taped his boss because he knew his boss was a liar. And that's how you hedge yourself against liar. Because even though he didn't think this day would come like this, it has come. And you know what? At the end of the day, even though I don't feel sorry for Michael Cohen for the things he did, but given the fact of the two, and I had to pick which is the worst of the evils, it's Donald Trump, hands down. He wins.
Hands down. And I thank Michael Cohen for, taping it, because you know what? He and his administration lie so much. But you know what? There's only so many lies you can tell when you actually have audio. When you have audio of what's being said, there's a lot of things that you can't circumvent.
Well, you know what? Coming from Rudy Giuliani, ED, when you have evidence, they say that's not proof, and when you have proof, they say that's not evidence. So that's how they spin it.
Yeah, before they released the tape, he was saying, well, it's exploratory information and it exonerates the president. And then when it comes out, it's like, again, it is not true. Trump has really got some other issues about emoluments, about all this money that he's getting from his hotels.
That federal court in D.C. brought the charge was brought against by state attorney generals from Maryland, Virginia, and somewhere else. They were actually Democratic states that brought it.
I think it was D.C. as well.
Yeah, in D.C. And they brought these charges, and they're going to hear it. The problem is that it'll probably be appealed. Trump is like this. He knows he's going to lose on the basic grounds. But his thing is, if I can get it to an appellate judge that I appointed that took a one of those loyalty pledge to me, then I'm okay. That's what he's looking for. And this guy, Kavanaugh, he shouldn't even be up for consideration.
Have you seen the commercials against Kavanaugh? They've been showing them here in Georgia. They are launching a campaign for him not to be on the Supreme Court. And there's no doubt that I don't.
But the thing is regardless of who he gets is going to be somebody cut from the same cloth. That tablecloth is big. That tablecloth of hate and what they come from is big. It stretches from here to hell. That's how long that tablecloth is. If it ain't Kavanaugh, they'll find somebody else like they had Robert Bork, and when they couldn't get Robert Bork, they got Helen Mirren. When they couldn't get that, they got Scalia or Rehnquist or whoever it is they got.
They just keep digging down in the barrel. They just keep
digging down in the barrel. It ain't hard to dig down in the barrel full of poop. That's it. There ain't manure, it's a barrel full of poop.
Yeah. It's horrible. You know, this is one of the rules that, you know, is rarely prosecuted, but it's so egregious how this administration and the Trump administration has been with, you know, not really putting, you know, saying that, you know, Don Jr. and Eric and his accountant are in charge of everything. You know, there's no doubt that.
No, they didn't want to put the blind trust with somebody else because Donald Trump don't want nobody handling his money and his greed and his graft. And he want to keep it in the family because family shows loyalty. Just like the mobsters, you know. You're not going to have no Cosa Nostra having some outside person that, you know, Edward R. Jones handling his money. Or
okay, you know,
that ain't going to happen, you know.
T. Rowe Price, none of that.
Yeah. You know, they don't do that. You know, hey, my cousin Vito will handle my money.
Okay, my money's in a safe down in the basement. In some cement. So, you know, Ivanka has decided that she and Jared are going to stay in Washington, and her line is being discontinued. I think I heard something like maybe 40 employees or something. She had like 40 employees or whatever.
Well,
but
all I'm going to say is her line is going to be discontinued and probably on name only. I'm quite sure she's not selling it to the Chinese. And after all, you know, they believe in child labor. So separating kids and having kids work and child labor. So them little Chinese kids will not be getting a bowl of rice to eat for a while because Ivanka took away, you know, their work to support their family. And I know it sounds cruel, but that's what they do. They're into that, and they look the other way. One of the reasons why they ain't going back to New York, people in New York don't want them there. They're not welcome. They don't have the same circle of friends. They've been out there blasting them. So yeah, you might as well stay in D.C. and stay around the wolves and the snakes that you slither with, and you're fine. Maybe Jared might take her to New Jersey so he can be with his family, but they know as criminals too. You know, if you don't believe me, look at his daddy. His daddy, ask Chris Christie's his daddy a damn criminal.
Oh yeah. They some definitely shady people, and Jared and his family, they no wonder they got together with the Trumps. They but you know, at the end of the day, I really feel like a lot of her clothes were not made well. There were a lot of complaints. A lot of the stores just stopped carrying the line, especially some of, you know, the stores up north. Now, you know, down south here, they said that a couple stores, you know, picked the line up after it was dropped, but that the clothes weren't made well. You know, and that's typical, you know, Trump stuff, you know.
Well, I know when she came up to Chicago and she did her line of shoes. And I'll say this. I met both her father, Donald Trump, and I met her, Ivanka Trump. I'm going to tell you, she was a very pleasant person. I mean, I would have had no idea she would turn out to be so, I don't know, disingenuous the way she is now. But her shoes, they were affordable if you can go and afford the stuff at Nordstrom. They looked like quality shoes. They were better than Payless. But, you know, they was, I would say, on the level of 9 West. You know, they weren't no Louis, what's that, Batons, you know, the red bottom shoes.
Okay.
But, you know, they were good shoes. They were for working women. You know, they were affordable. You didn't have to be rich to get them, but you could afford them, you know, so. That I don't know about, you know, and then she had her little clothing line, and she was actually wearing her stuff, her shoes, her stuff that she was selling, which I thought was a good point.
Yeah, it was all fine until she got into the White House and started pointing it out and then taking pictures of her being in the White House and putting it on her website and say, hey, you know, while I was in this meeting, this is where I wore from my line. And then you had Kellyanne out there saying, hey, you know, buy Ivanka's line. That was just all wrong.
I got a question for you. How come Robert Mueller hasn't interviewed Kellyanne?
You know what?
I mean,
I think that she's one of. There's a difference between the people that's being targeted. I think, like Donald Trump, she's one of these people that's being targeted because she was in on a lot of stuff, and Hope Hicks as well. They said that when when Donald Trump found out supposedly about the meeting before it happened with Trump Jr. They said Hope Hicks knew, and they said that there's some other people, and I don't even doubt that Kellyanne knew. I don't even doubt that she know.
Yeah. She knew. She knew.
Oh,
And
Kelly's in a little trouble. The fact that they aside, they said the fact that they haven't talked to you, you should be worried.
Well,
and her husband's a lawyer. He ain't gonna defend her because he always trolling Donald Trump.
Well, you know what? Who knows? She might be one leaking stuff. We never know.
Well, if she's leaking it, it's certainly on behalf of Donald Trump and what he wants her to do. I mean, she might have snuck and did some stuff, but I think that when they get to leaking, they get people like Kellyanne and them to do it for them.
And your favorite apprentice, Omarosa.
Really?
She's writing a book.
I know she can read.
How she was disrespected in the White House. I find that hard to believe that she would work in the Trump White House and be disrespected. After all, Donald Trump had a lot of high praise for her.
Well, you know what? There's a lot of disrespect in Trump administration for white people. Now, she was one of the only black people in his administration. So I don't know where she thought she ranked, but I'm just gonna keep it real.
Well, hey,
she stuck out as the person who was there doing nothing. She had no agenda that was gonna help black people. She was just there to really just represent her. I really don't think that anything that she tried to put together was serious. And Donald Trump didn't look at anything that she did really serious. And the people that she tried to bring together, they weren't able to accomplish a damn thing with Donald Trump.
Yeah, well, she brought together those ministers, black preachers who came to embrace Trump and hoping he'd go to his church and give a donation.
Yeah, they laid hands on him, but They didn't lay hands on him like they should have laid. They should have laid hands and feet on him.
Yeah. I want to say one more thing about Donald Trump. And of course, sometimes you hear him talk about Elizabeth Warren's heritage. And he says he'll give $1 million to any charity that she chooses for if she can prove it. See, Donald Trump is smart. When he talking about he's going to give you $1 million, and it's to a charity, he's going to write it off. Tell Donald Trump, I don't want you to give the charity. I just want you to give me that $1 million.
Okay.
and that way you can go ahead and pay tax on me as an employee, Social Security, federal withholding tax. And don't worry about it. I'm paying the tax with the money that you're giving me, so I don't care. And then I can go ahead and donate that money and I'll get the write-off.
Well, I'm just going to keep it real. If I was going to ask him, dude, I'm going to need you to get that $1 million grossed up. That means you pay all the taxes and I get the straight mill. Okay?
Well, hey, that's even better. But he ain't going to do that.
When they give out bonuses to CEOs,
he always wants to write it off.
Gross them up. They don't pay the taxes. Them CEOs, when they get those checks, they gross them up. I know I've grossed up a whole lot of them. Okay. When they get a bonus, what that is what they say it is, for a lot of them. So, T, you've been checking out your boy Floyd Mayweather and 50 Cent. I guess they back beefing, man.
They beefing. Listen, 50 like a scorned woman. He just not gonna let it go. Once you start with 50, he go in on you. He's not letting you go. And it's Floyd's at a disadvantage. Floyd can't talk well. Floyd can't read. Floyd can't write. And Floyd, Floyd
is illiterate.
Yeah, he's illiterate, and he's walking around with all his money. He don't want to put it in the bank. Floyd, if your house burned down, your money ain't gonna be insured. They're not gonna pay you for your burn up money. They're all burned up, trying to talk about match them serial numbers and think that the Treasury gonna give it to you. Let me tell you, they're not gonna do it. The minute that Donald Trump hear that your house got burned up with all your money, he's gonna tell the Treasury. If he come here, tell him he owe money and pay taxes, money that he didn't burn up to pay the taxes with. Him and 50 beefing, and then he talking about 50's son involved and their ex-girlfriends, and it's crazy. Floyd, you're slow. And 50 was just so cold. He says, Champ, you're not 50 and old. You're like 63 and old because I guess them other 11 women, you know, there are women that he beat with domestic violence. So he don't beat whooped on some women.
Ooh.
You know?
Yeah. You
Floyd
know,
cannot match.
Floyd and 50 Cent, they certainly have always they just seem to go real low when it comes to trolling each other.
How low you can go,
Yeah.
you know?
They stay beefing. They need to use their platform better, you know.
You know,
I mean,
Floyd's a boxer, but you know what? And you know, and he's got that thug life from Flint, Michigan. But 50 from St. Louis, you know what? That's a whole nother lifestyle.
but he's from New York.
Who?
50.
No, you think he's from St. Louis?
Well, his song is.
Well, wherever he's from. He's from the streets. A lot more than Floyd been, because Floyd been boxing in the gym. And 50 been taking bullets on the street.
Oh, yeah. And he does not have a limp. So, yeah, I wish them both the best. I wish, that they would stop beefing with each other. You know, right here in Georgia, Jason Spencer has been trolled by, what's his name?
Sacha Baron Cohen. Borat got him.
Borat got him.
You know, these racists, they won't miss an opportunity to perform for another racist if they think it is, and nobody's looking. I mean, did that dumbass man think when he saw them damn cameras that this wasn't going to be broadcast somewhere? What he thought it was going to be on the Klan?
What they told him that it was only going to be broadcast in Russia, that it was not going to be broadcast here at all. But you know, he's an idiot.
Spencer, let me tell you something. Because it's going to be broadcast in Russia, there's satellite. And they are uplinking on the satellite so you can download it anywhere in the world. You think Russians are only in Russia? They're not. There's a whole lot in New York City, and apparently there was some in the Trump Tower. Yeah,
they got special streaming for it, because I was messing around with my TV and I was like, dang, I could stream different countries. You know,
right?
I was like, wow, I don't know if I was on my Fire Stick or what, but it's just a lot you can do.
Yeah. So anyway, he ran around, pulled down his drawers, showed his butt. Then he
told him, he said you got to show skin.
You got to show skin. Well, let me tell you. Why don't you come to Chicago and do those little annex here? You know, you're a tough guy, you know, because you believe in carrying your gun and you strapped. Go down to Inglewood and pull that annex down there. I want you to holler that N-word loud as you can. I'm gonna tell you, when the CPD come, when they come to get you, it will be a call with the morgue.
That's what I said. The coroner will be coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be that call.
They'll throw a white sheet over your face. You know, we know you like to keep it for, you know, like a cone on your head, but you'll be laying out there, and the brothers will be drinking 40s. You'll be looking like some dead possum on the road.
He really made a fool of himself. I mean, it was just horrible. I mean,
he's representative.
Anytime somebody asks you to pull your pants down on camera, that should alert
you. Run around.
Yeah. And then,
listen.
I the N-word, you know.
Hey, after Roy Moore in Alabama, and you got Jason Spencer in Georgia, let's just go through the South, you know, just make it up there, because apparently, I used to think the people in West Virginia were ignorant. Now, these folks here in Georgia and Alabama and Florida, and I haven't heard nothing from Mississippi. I'm waiting for them to show up.
They too busy gambling, man. But believe me, there's a lot of stuff going on. I'm sure from their government side, there's always something bad and evil going on. So,
well, Sandra, Greece is looking for some firefighters, because they look like the whole country is burning down. So if you need a job that's just exciting, and I know you want to go, and you like Greek food like gyros.
Yeah, I could. You know what? They just opened up a place down the street. You know, so
I'm telling you, I think that they will fly you there and train you to go fight a fire.
I'll take my baklava in Snellville, thank you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know, hey, listen, I might go to Hubs or Dingios, but I don't have to go that far. Ain't no way.
Well, you know, we got Greektown up here too, you know. So
absolutely.
I'm gonna fight us up in Greektown, you know. It's like have a flaming shish kebab.
Yeah. I wish them the best on that. Hopefully they can get some people to, help with that. I'm not gonna lie. I've often said that if you needed a first responder, that I'm not that person. If your butt is on fire, you probably shouldn't even bother calling me, because I swear to God, you'll be a piece of bacon waiting on my ass. I'm just slow.
And one more thing is tragic. These families been separated, and some of them won't be reunited. So this is another form of some kind of slavery. Stealing kids. Is a tragedy. At least the court is involved somehow in trying to reconnect with some. It's asinine the way they do it. And I mean, I think they should be charged for war crimes.
Well, what they've done, and yes, they should be charged with crimes of humanity for sure. What they've done is they've tried to categorize the 900-something kids that they can't find the parents, and they've deemed them ineligible, to be reunited with their parents. And then they've declared victory that, we've got these others together, and these we just not going to get it together, and that's it. So I'm waiting to find out, what the court says. I mean, they have to make them reunite these children with their parents. It's horrible. It's tragic. It's a black spot on America. I mean, I just can't believe that these people think that this is okay. They can sit up there and they can go, well, these aren't our kids. They're not from America, dude. We're all from the human race.
Yeah,
we're our kids.
Well, that's what happens when you get people who don't think that we're human beings. They think that we're some kind of animal, or or something less than human, and that we need to be in cages. Even in the animal kingdom, there's mercy and compassion. But these people don't have it. They don't have mercy and compassion. They walk around there, Bible thumping, talking about, praise the Lord is with me. I'm a God-fearing Christian. They're not. They don't fear God. They fear Donald Trump for some reason, but they don't fear God, because if they did, they'd be trying to get their soul right.
That's right. Well, it's been another great long week. I don't know what's going to happen next week. I think Paul Manafort will probably go on trial next week. There's just going to be a lot going on. So we here at Lee Street Beat, we're going to keep our ear to the street.
Yes, we are. We're going to stay to the street. Paul Manafort, he ain't got no more root touch-up, so that hair is going to be awful gray. You got a lot of time trying to, wait on Donald Trump to give you a pardon. Donald Trump is not focused, so he got other problems. He got the Stormy Daniel problem. He got the problem with Madugo. He got Robert Mueller. He got his problem with Melania. He got problems.
And by the way, Stormy and her husband are getting divorced.
You know what? I guess I don't understand it. How is it that you're a porn star and then you have sex, for a living, and then you get accused of adultery having sex? Maybe the person she was having sex with was auditioning for a new role that they may film together at some time in the future.
I have no idea, and so I'm unable to add any value to that statement.
I do know that.
And another thing I don't want to add any value to is the 19-minute song that R. Kelly has done, talking about all what he has done. I just can't.
R. Kelly and Roy Moore, they need to do a duet. Talk about underage kids and how.
You think Roy Moore roll up on Sassy?
Roll up on Sassy.
Roll up on Sassy.
He can.
R. Kelly be like, you remind me of my G. He's like, man, I never forget. He was right Sassy hard, man. He was right.
R. Kelly, another one, another illiterate. Can't read, can't write. There you go. But I will say this about Floyd. Even though Floyd can't read, can't write, he can count 1 to 300 million. And he can do it by ones or hundreds.
I got some money. I don't know if he got Floyd money, but he got some money. But I don't think he can count, unfortunately.
Well, all right. Well, until next week, this is Lee Street Beat. Hopefully we have, S. Hacker back, and her family situation will be resolved. Keep her in your prayers. It's a serious situation for her and her family. And our thoughts and prayers are going out to her. So until Lee Street Beat, next week, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.